Hey, how's everybody doing? I didn't even know I had hit the live button. How's everybody doing? I was trying to put some music here. I feel like listening to I think the thing is trying to Sorry. Katy Perry roared today. I do not own the rights to this music, just to let you all know. So my live can stay up, right? I can't help but I gotta shake the ground. I mean, the words to this song is just so befitting. I don't know if you all can hear this or not, but it's Roar by Katy Perry. So, I mean, this song is so like very befitting for the subject on today. It's come out of hiding, right? Like this is like so phenomenal. Let me pull this down here. And I want y'all to hear this. And this I am Coach Marsha coming to you today on this beautiful Thursday. You know, here in Texas it's a little bit rainy, but you know, I love the rain. One, I got that flower garden outside, and it just something about the rainwater that my flowers just like they just love, you know, because they're in the infancy stage and so they're growing. So I'm so excited about their getting the rain on today, the rainwater on today. Um, but I want to thank all of my for those who are watching a replay. Thank you so much. I thank you for sharing the messages that I sent out across the airwaves, and I'm just so grateful and so honored that you all would take time out of your busy day, your 24-hour period, just to spend a little time with your girl, Coach Marsha, aka the Game Changer. So and I'm gonna put this on pause today because I'll be in here jamming to myself, right? Jamming by myself, not to myself, but by myself. And once again, thank you for your time on today. And today, messages like what I said, come out of hiding. As you know, Monday we celebrated Memorial Day, and that's when you know different people, organizations across America, they honor those who have given the ultimate sacrifice, right, in their lives for our freedom here in America, in these United States of America, right? And so, and normally I participate in a parade with the Camouflage Sisters, but because I'm doing a new task right now in this season in my life, I wasn't able to participate with them. But what I did though is I sat and I watched different speeches that was done in reference to Memorial Day. I listened to a lot of my comrades who talked about their experiences, talked about how they lost battle buddies, you know, as a result of war, you know, and how but one thing that really stuck out to me is of course my the veterans who paved the way, I believe, for me and those who are in this era of being a part of the armed forces. And um that would be our Vietnam veterans. I will always have uh they will always be near and dear to my heart. Why? Because while they were over in Vietnam doing what it is that they do, you know, doing what it is that they joined the armed forces for, doing what it is that they believe that the president of the United States and Congress, who approved of a war, went to war, but when they came home, they were not welcome home. And what I found is, and through the various speeches that different members from the armed forces that fought in the Vietnam War, one thing that sounded, I did not let people know I served my country. It's as if I went into hiding. It's as if it was not an honor to say that I served my country. They were labeled baby killers. They were labeled murderers on so many different levels, right? Nothing, no parades, nobody waiting at the airport with red, white, and blue flags, no posters saying, hey, thank you for your service. Thank you. Thank you for going over there, helping those people regain freedom. You know, thank you. Nothing. Instead, things was thrown at them. They were taunted, tormented. And then it's like, it was just horrible, right? You know, and me growing up, I didn't know the significance of what they did, why they did until I got older, right? And then I was like, my God. And then when I became a soldier of the United States Army, I was like, wow. You know, I came home from my first deployment and it was an honor, you know, when I came through the airport in my uniform, you know, because in the back of your mind, I'm like, okay, I know they show this on TV, but everybody doesn't like us. Everybody doesn't care for what we stand for, right? Everybody doesn't. I don't think Americans understand the the heaviness of being a service member, regardless of your branch, because every one of us have a purpose. But go Army, you know, every one of us has a purpose. Every one of us has a duty. But do you know, civilians, that the reason why you have these freedoms that you do is because of the men and women who don this uniform every day, who has worn the uniform that grants you these freedom, these privileges that you have. And sometimes, you know, you like take for granted, right? Where we go into other countries to attempt to assist them in getting the freedoms that we have here in America, right? So getting to my point, when that former soldier said that I hid the fact that I was a veteran for 15 years, guys, here in Texas. He said, I hid the fact that I was a veteran for 15 years out of fear of what someone would say about me and potentially do to me, right? Because I served my country and that thing hit me. Like, because I know for a fact personally, it's not my story as to why I hid, but I hid the fact that I was a veteran because of the simple fact that my DD 214 character of discharge did not reflect honorable. Because of how I transitioned from the military, I hid the fact that I was a veteran, something I worked hard to do, something I worked hard to become. I worked hard to become a soldier of the United States Army. Basic training is no punk. It's not. Not only do you go through a physical change, but you go through a mental and emotional change, right? So it's no point. Can't nobody just go through that. It's no, oh, I'm going to write you through. No, it's not. And then on top of that, it's not even in a comeback. It's not even in comeback, but then you have to go learn your specialty, right? And it's pass or fail. It's no, oh, I'm going to let you slide. No, the United States Armed Forces has a standard. And in that standard, you have to meet that in order to go to the next station. If you don't meet that you don't meet that standard, you're going to Fort Living Room, back home, and do whatever it is that you were doing, right? And then so As you go from basic training, you go to your specialty school, which in the Army is called AIT, and then you transition to your unit. Now that's where you about to get it in. This is where you are groomed. You got transition. You began the transition in training and where you have those drill sergeants turning you in from a civilian to a soldier, and then you go through the training and learn your job. But then you get to your unit, and guess what? That's when you begin to be molded. That's when you begin to, because let me tell y'all one thing that all services have in common. All of us are weapon qualified. Every last one of us is weapon qualified. You can't fire that weapon, you have no place in these armed forces. Because at the end of the day, if a war pops off, guess what? You got to be ready. And that's consistent all across the board. PT test, range. Right? And so as I was thinking about this Vietnam War veteran, right? And the tears, you can hear the brokenness in his voice because he said something I worked so hard for 15 years, I did not share. 15 years he could not share in the public and and walk out with, like, all veterans, all soldiers. It's an honor to have worn the uniform. Like, it was an honor for me to have worn the uniform. And it hurt me when not anyone else, I decided to go against a standard that has been set, the rules and the regulations that have been set for me as a soldier to be able to follow. Then I went left, right? I went left. And by me going left, I went down a path I should not have, and I end up defrauding the government. And so, as a result of the consequences of that, my ability to wear the uniform was taken away from me. Because of my choices, because of a choice I made, a decision that I made. Greed, you know? So I can't wear this uniform when I please. I can't say that I'm a retired sergeant major today. I can't say that. I made it to the rank of staff sergeant. Well, staff sergeant promotable. The very month I'm supposed to be getting promoted, I'm incarcerated down there at, I think I was in, no, for Christmas. So that was December. I'm at Miramar Brig in San Diego, California. When I'm supposed to be December 1st, celebrating the fact that I'm a Sergeant First Class, a senior non-commissioned officer in the United States Army in 8 or 9 years. Picked up 7 my first look. So I say this for those veterans out there, and yes, and I call you veterans because you are still a veteran, right? If you transition from the military with anything less than other than anything less than a general discharge, that means other than honorable, bad conduct, or even a dishonorable discharge. One, I want to let you know you are still a veteran. Don't let nobody tell you any different. You don't just transition back to being a civilian. It's no such thing. And I can remember I was talking to Chief. I don't know if Chief told me this or either someone mentioned it to her. We're not civilians. No matter how we try to merge in, blend in, right? That soldier is going to, that sailor is going to, that Marine is going to, that Coast Guard is going, that 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 person is going to surface because that is who you are, right? So don't try to take it off because that is who you are. Wear it. Wear with pride. Wear with honor. I took mine off. You want to know why I took mine off? I took mine off because I was told so many times that I was not. I was told like, hey, your DD 214 says you have a bad conduct discharge, so you're not honorable. And then what really stuck it to me is two things. I can remember I was at, I don't know what that brig is called in VA down in Norfolk, Virginia, because that's why I went to first after my court martial until they transitioned me to Miramar Brig, right? And I can remember they have these like you got to do chores, so to say, in the brig, right? And so I'm doing my chores, and sitting down there doing, maybe people are a little bit crazy. I thought the army was crazy, but y'all are really crazy. But I'm doing my chores, and one of the Navy personnel, Navy soldiers, sailors come in and be like, "Hey, Martin, um, I come to collect your uniform." I said, "What uniform?" Like that. She said, "Your dress uniform." I said, "Why do you need my dress uniform?" You know, I stand up. I'm like, "Why do you need my dress uniform?" She's like, "You're no longer authorized to wear this uniform because you're no longer a soldier anymore." I would say, "But what does that have to do with you taking my uniform?" I got defensive. I was really willing to put my, like, I raised up at her. Like, point blank clear. I raised up at her. Like, I got in defense mode. Like, you cannot take this from me, because I'm like, what do I have to remember? Like, I wore this, like, y'all know, I love the look of me and my greens, my dress greens or my dress blues. Because we had greens and then we had dress blues. And I had graduated to the point where I had my blues on. Like, I wore my blues. And when she explained it and she raised back up, and I had to remember where I was. Like, you're not that Sergeant Martin anymore. You're Private Martin and a prisoner. So pipe down, young lady. You know? And so when she took that, it's like she took something away from me. Like, I realized this thing is real. Like, this is real. This is not a drill. This is not practice. This is not you're learning to clear a building, to go to war. This is real, Marsha. I wept, y'all, because something I worked so hard for, just like that, it was gone. And I had no one to blame but myself. No one to blame but myself. Unlike the Vietnam soldiers, right? And so I felt like crap. No hope, no no honor, everything just gone. Integrity shot. Everything just gone. And then constant reminder was seeing them bars, right? Not being able to go as I please. Having the guards snicker at you. Having the guards belittle you because you're a prisoner and they have a position of authority over you, right? And so embarrassed to let my family know that this is what I've done and this is where I'm at. Right? I was incarcerated and I didn't let them know. If they find out, I have no clue how they find out. I told a few of them, so that's probably how they found out. But I just want that veteran out there who has transitioned from the military with a not honorable discharge, that it's okay. It's okay. It's life after that. It has taken me a minute, like almost a decade, to get to this point, but I'm here to be a voice for you. I'm here to be your advocate, to let you know that there is hope after this. There is opportunity after this. Let me tell you, my process of going through the VA, and I was screaming every day if I have to. Come out of hiding. And because there are people, well, me, and a few people that I'm connected with that's willing to assist you, that's willing to help you in this process of navigating life as a veteran and one who has a felony, one who got out that doesn't have a honorable discharge. And I apologize for the people's lack of knowledge when it comes to understanding what a character of discharge is. Everybody doesn't get out the military with an honorable discharge. You have 5 different categories. You have honorable, you have other than honorable, you have general, you have bad conduct, and you have dishonorable discharge. So mind you, in the middle of honorable and dishonorable is 3 different phases. So those different phases does not, and I repeat, does not mean that it's a dishonorable civilians. Educate yourself, because the result of you telling veterans, hey, if it's not honorable, it's dishonorable. Do you know the damage that you do to the psyche of that individual? They already had to come, put pride aside to come and ask for assistance. And then to have someone to tell them your service meant nothing. That's what that means every time you turn them away. That your service to your country meant nothing. If it sounds like I'm mad, yes, I am. I'm not just mad, I'm pissed. Because I know personally. So I felt the hurt of that veteran, that Vietnam veteran who said they went into hiding. So come out of hiding because it's help. They're just positioning themselves in the last 10 years to get help, y'all. And then let's not even mention the ones who, as a result of PTSD, depression, anxiety, or the use of drugs and alcohol, who got put out as a result of those things, who's on the streets, who's suffering from addiction right now, who needs help, guys. Our comrades need our help, to include the ones in current war, Desert Storm, Iraqi freedom, Iraqi enduring freedom. See, one thing the military teaches us how. The armed forces transforms us into service members. I'm telling you, we learn how to utilize a weapon, various weapons. We learn how to protect ourselves. Any means necessary, right? We learn how to take care of troops, right? We learn how to operate different systems. We learn how to lead. But one thing that, for some, not all, they don't know how to turn it off. They don't know how to deal with the trials and tribulations of the world, right? Everybody doesn't have Jesus. Everybody doesn't have a spiritual or higher, as people say, higher power. I'm going to say Jesus because, like, in my mind, the army didn't issue him to me. He wasn't a pillar in my life when I joined the United States Army, because it wasn't a pillar in my family's life, in my home. You know, it wasn't something that was mandated. You know, you go if you go. It wasn't nothing that was taught, right? So Jesus Christ wasn't a pillar in Marsha's life. I don't know about everybody else. So I did not have that to fall on, or that to push me, guide me through my process, right? So it's so important, guys, as we to have empathy, right? Have, what are you saying, Cornell? Every every it's yes, it could be possible. You have to go there, fill out the paperwork, and it doesn't matter how long ago it's been. It's no expiration date. It's no statute of limitation except for that dental. A year within you getting out, you have to go to the dental part of the VA. After that 365 days, 366, they're not going to see you unless you're service connected for dental condition or 100% permanent in total. Point blank period. They'll give you a paper that got some numbers on it and hope they work. I'm so for real. At least that's what they did at one of the VAs I went to. I'm not going to tell you all which one. But Carnell, yes, you can go to the VA in your state, and what you do is you can either go online, but me, I'm a face-to-face person. I don't want to do nothing online. Let me come and talk to you. Let me come see your face because I can't talk to the computer, right? So let me see your face. You go in there, take your DD 214, let them know. They'll see that you served your country, drop your paperwork off because it does not matter, guys. Just like it can be 1979, Cornell, somebody, whoever you're talking to, served their country. They haven't submitted a disability claim. Guess what? You can now. You can now. You can now. And if whomever you're talking about, they need some help, you know how to get in contact with me. So I got you covered. Right. And so, guys, I just want you all to know, like, if you know a veteran out there and you know us, we got a swagger about us. It's this invisible chip on our shoulder. Like, you know us. When we come in a room, we demand attention even when we're quiet. Even when we're quiet. When we open our mouths, you just know how we carry ourselves. You just know. Like, either they're gonna say either you were in the armed forces or you was raised by someone in the armed forces. Point blank, period. Because of how you carry yourself. Even the craziest joker. I'm a part of this organization led by Kevin Manners called Arm in Arm, right? And even though it just doesn't focus on veterans in Arm in Arm, but Kevin, his whole premise to Arm in Arm is empathy. We don't want you to sympathize with us. Like, hey, like, we don't want we don't want your sympathy, a little empathy. And it's so unfortunate that it takes an individual to go through what you're going through to have empathy. So veterans, come out. Those veterans, just because you got a general discharge, just because you got a bad conduct, other than honorable, a general, other than honorable bad conduct or dishonorable discharge, come out of hiding. Come out of hiding. It's help. I'm telling you. I'm trying to keep myself from crying here because I went through this process. I was told by the VA, hey, Miss Martin, you have no honorable service. Guys, I served my country 11 years. How dare you tell me I have no honorable service? How dare you? Veteran Service Representative. How dare you? Because you chose not to look into your regulation. Because you chose to do things the way it's always been done. And right there in the 38 CFR, it tells you. The reason, guys, I'm a service-connected disabled veteran today is because I have honorable service. Two re-enlistments. I re-enlisted 3 times within that 11 years. 2 of them were good conduct periods. And as a result of those good conduct periods, those 2 good conduct periods, I am a service-connected disabled veteran. My conditions were diagnosed during my good conduct period. Anything outside of that good conduct period, no go. I could have broken both my legs. Can't get service connected for it. I could have been in a rollover in a Humvee. Broke my legs. If it was on that 3rd re-enlistment, irrelevant. You know why? Because that was part of the bad conduct period. So I'm equipping you all. That's one thing that You're Still a Veteran does. We educate and we equip our veterans. We educate and we equip. So I'm educating and I'm equipping you with some information on today. This free. So you take this and you run with it. And do something with it. So if you're out here and you're listening and you know of a veteran that is out there that is like soaking because like, hey, he or she been told so long that they're not authorized, they're not entitled, blase, 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 blase. Like, hey, this is not what she said, yes, you are. And she gave an example. I had to fight for that, y'all. I had to let them know, hey, I got 2 honorable service periods. But what I found out, check this out. What I should have done in the beginning, what a veteran service officer should have done, and for you veteran service officers, educate yourself. Stop turning these veterans back when they come to your office for your help. Your job is to assist veterans. Just because it's not packaged the way that you're accustomed to, it doesn't mean that you don't give your 100% to it, to he or she. Treat that packet like it's yours. Treat that veteran like it's you. What service would you want? What service would you desire? Would you want that veteran service officer to pour their all into you? Yes. So why not do it with them? Search the 38 CFR if you don't know the answer. Stop depending on someone to tell you what it is, how they did it, and how they other co-workers did it and those co-workers did it, because that's what happened to me. Because somebody did not read their regulation, but your girl did. You know where I got that trait from? Right out of that NCO creed. You know where I got that trait from? My AIT instructor, First Sergeant Williams. Research. Be technically proficient. You know what I got that from? Going to promotion boards, going to Soldier of the Month boards, going to Soldier of the Year boards, because you know what I had to do? Read the regulation. You know how I passed every school that I had to go into the military? I had to read the regulations. I had to study. So guys, I'm telling you, it is so important that you hear my heart today. That you hear my heart today. Because you know what? Fact is, you know what? Some of those, like they have this stat about every 22, I think it's, I don't want to get my number wrong here. Let me get my number right. I don't want to get my number wrong. Every 22 seconds or something like that, a service member commits suicide, right? You want to know who's not in that number? That veteran who transitioned out the brig. because they aren't tracked. We aren't tracked anymore. That number doesn't matter anymore. And 9 times out of 10, that particular veteran doesn't even let anyone know that they're a veteran at all. Doesn't let no one know, right? But however, guys, they're part of that number that's out here PCPing, heroin, whatever kind of drugs they be using. That's an alcoholic out here. That's homeless out here. That doesn't want anyone to know that they're a veteran. Even in homeless shelters, veterans have priority. Homeless shelters. You want to know how I know? Because I went to one. So, guys, it is so it's so important. It's so important. I'm trying to gather myself together here because I won't be crying on this live today. But my heart goes out to that veteran who has transitioned from the military with less than general discharge. Because eventually rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection, it sifts away your hope, right? It really does. It sifts away your hope. And so that veteran needs something, some light, somebody to say, hey, I hear you and I'm here for you, right? And so I'm her. I know because I done been there. Patience is needed. Don't lose hope. Patience is needed because we got to slow walk the people who make the rules. We have to slow walk them through the process, right? Because it's foreign to them. Because they don't know. They don't know. They don't know, like, hey, wait a minute. She got something. She's saying something that is right. But sometimes you got to chip away at the layer. But I got this hammer right here, y'all. I'm going to keep chipping. I'm going to keep chipping. I'm going to keep chipping until that thing breaks, right? Until that thing breaks, until it's broken, until we're talked about in Congress, until they see, like, hey, you know what? Even though she got out with a dishonorable discharge, she got 15 other years. We got to help that soldier. We have to help that airman. We have to help that Marine. We have to help that sailor. We have to help that Coast Guard member. So family, love up on your family. No, you might not understand. You might not understand why they're angry. They don't know what to do with it. My best friend, I had a conversation with her one day and I was telling her about what was going on, but she said, Marsha, you're so angry. Nobody's going to listen to you. Nobody's going to want to help you because you're angry. I said, no, I'm not. I was mad. I'm telling you, I was mad at her for a good month, right? But then I thought about it. I was, y'all. I'm blaming everybody but me. I was angry. I needed to forgive myself so I can move forward. So I ain't angry no more. I'm good now. So the frustration or the passion that you hear in my voice today is not me angry at the military. It's not me angry at the people. It's me angry at the process, the system. So I'm going to change the system. I am going to be the person that gets the system changed. Yeah, I said it. June 2nd, 2022. I'm going to be the one to get to change the system. And guys, come out of hiding. The only way you can get hope is you got to come out of hiding. You got to come out like, hey, it's me. I can be found on any one of these platforms at the Marsha Martin. I can be contacted by email. I am TGC22 at gmail.com. That's I am TGC22 at gmail.com. It's hope out here. It's hope out here. It's an opportunity to recreate, reposition, and re-equip. So give you something else. So like you already got tools, guys. Those skills don't leave. Those skills don't leave. It's help. Those who's already incarcerated that was getting benefits. Now you out and you ain't getting no benefits. It's help for you too. Call me. Call me. It's help for you too. These organizations, these virtual service organizations, if y'all don't know, get some additional training. Read your 38 CFR. Educate yourself. People working in the appeals branch. My God. I had an individual who works on the appeals board right down there in Waco. I gave him my scenario, but used somebody else's like it was somebody else's. You know what that man told me? That soldier, that service member will never get any benefits. Never. I was like, my God. Because he ain't never read it. You're going off of how things has always been. Didn't hear nothing I said because he was bent on, oh, they'll never get that. Y'all, be an advocate, and if there's other organizations out there that you know of that are helping veterans because my mission, my goal is to, hey, equip and educate veterans who are transitioning out the military with a less than other than honorable discharge. That's bad conduct. That's dishonorable discharge. That's in some cases general discharges. Because now servicemen are believing that they can get benefits and they got a general discharge. My God. Like for real? So my goal is to assist them in getting benefits that they are legally entitled to. And I say that legally entitled to because all veterans aren't entitled to VA benefits, unfortunately. It's a case-by-case situation. Sometimes no two are the same. Guys, and on that note, I'm going to head on out of here because I'm through. So once again, I appeal to you to just love upon your veterans. It doesn't matter what era they come from. It doesn't matter what character or discharge they come from. Just love upon them. If they want to talk, listen. Because I'm telling you, it will enhance your life. Just so listen. And just know, I'm in the presence of history. I'm in the presence of a former service member of the United States of America military. I'm in the presence of someone who served in the greatest military in this world. That's your celebrity. So, and on that note, I'm going to leave, but thank you for tuning in. Once again, I thank you for watching the replay, and you all have a great day. And this is Coach Marsha signing off. And remember, you are important and your life has value. Have a most excellent day.